Welcome back to Sports Dribble podcast. I'm with BJ and Davo tonight again, fellas. Welcome. What's been going on?
Not much, mate. Not a lot. Just trying to keep out of the heat. Stay hydrated.
Same old.
Hydrated with a Hawkesbury.
Yeah, beauty. Davo, mate, cricket last weekend.
Yes, mate. In the heat, it was Friday and Saturday for us. So, daughters played well, wife played well. We lost. I sucked. So, typical weekend.
Mate, you haven't found your straps after Christmas. What's going on?
Yeah, we're a bit hot and cold. We lost on the second last ball of the whole match, but a bit of controversy happening is that they were scoring at the time, and the live score went down from about the 37th over or something, and now the scorebook doesn't match up with the live score, so it was 1 versus 2. So a bit of a rivalry there. So it's interesting. So we'll see what happens from it.
Wow.
Good scorer beats a good player any day, mate.
Oh, mate, of course they do.
Mate, speaking of good scorers, how's TF Hudson won something at golf today? He's a good scorer.
Yeah, he sure is.
Creative accountancy at its best.
I bet you he scored his own card too, that bloke.
I bet he did. How'd you go, Randall, for the week, mate? Anything sport-wise for you guys?
Just the same old, mate. Lots and lots of training for the young bloke. He's training 3-4 times a week at the moment, so he's loving life. Thinks it's the best thing ever. Bit of basketball tonight. He went to basketball, had another solid win. Off to camp tomorrow, so a couple of day reprieve from training. You should enjoy that.
Yep.
What about yourself?
The kids have just got their dancing and stuff. They've been going hard at that. No comps or anything for them at the moment. I've come out of retirement with my powerlifting. Been a bit crook last sort of 4 or 5 days, so I just hit a nice easy opener, shall we say, to get a total for later on in the year if I want to compete.
So, what was that total, mate?
Lifting schooners instead of middies, are we?
What was that?
Lifting schooners instead of middies, are we?
That's right. So that total, Randall, if you calculate my total I just did one lift in each in the squat, bench, and deadlift. If you calculate that total, it's not as much as what I would usually have my opening squat.
Yeah, right.
We'll just leave it at that. All right. It was pretty average.
Got to start somewhere though, mate.
That's it, mate. I've got a total now, and now I'm a masters lifter. I'm an old fella. You just have to get a total to qualify through to the next stage. So state championships in May, I might have a bit of a dig and see how I go and see if I can qualify for nationals. But see how we go there.
I'm sure Maxi would still have you covered, mate.
Mate, how's Maxi Bristow? He's 78 years old. He squatted 125 kilos. I think he benched 65 or it might have even been 75 kilos. And his deadlift, 175 kilos. Oof. At 78 or 79 years old. What a legend.
That's crazy.
And built like a pencil.
Yep. Yeah, and I think
on
he's 68 kilos or something. But anyway,
so that was Randall. What's your excuse?
Same
built like a pencil.
Don't even lift, Randall.
Turtle shell here, mate. Smuggling turtles under my shirt.
All right, fellas. Let's kick it off with some tidbits this week. We've got a few tidbits. We've got a bit of rugby league, a bit of NBL, baseball. Davo just alerted me of a pretty big highlight in the Sale GP, so we'll have a shot at that later on. But for now, sponsored by Hawkesbury Brewing. I'm not actually on the cans tonight. I've just got this lovely ginger to show you. I'm on the green water actually, so on the greens tonight.
Soft.
I know, Randall. Soft, whatever you want to call it. But here's our tidbit sponsored by Hawkesbury Brewing. Let's have them.
Yeah, so first one for us was a little bloke called Roger Clemens, just won a few games. He lost a start against Cleveland on May 29, 1998. He didn't lose another start again until June 6, 1999. So those that know baseball, to go pretty much a calendar year without losing a start, that's a fair effort. So look at old Rocket. I think it was his last season in Toronto and his first season with the Yankees in '99. So I think in '99 he went like 20-2 or something. So that's why he got such a good start, and he pitched so well in Toronto for 2 Cy Youngs. So it's a hell of an effort.
It is.
That's unreal.
And how good is that jersey too? I actually like the look of that jersey.
Yeah, I've got a jersey similar to that. It's their throwback for not sure what else for a special day, but yeah, the dark blue of the Red Riding.
Canada Day or something like that?
Canada Day, yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, nice. He's a legend. I'm glad he didn't stay at Toronto all the years though.
No, he went round. So the second one is another big star from the 90s, Big Mac. So in 2001, I think it is, he had 29 home runs and 21 singles for the season. So it's quite the odd stat to have more home runs than singles hit in a season. So again, I don't think I've ever seen that happen. So, but that's Big Mac for you.
And he doesn't look huge here, like the big Mac, but he's pretty big.
He was then in the start of his cycle here.
Yeah, I'd say so, mate. What else you got for us, Dave? A bit of cricket by the looks of this.
Last one, it hurts to read. The most wickets by a bowling pair in tests. It had been McGrath and Warne for a long time on 1001, but those pesky Poms, Anderson and Broad, have overtaken them. They're now up to 1009 wickets combined in tests. So it says a lot about the longevity of those two and how well they've bowled, not only over in England, but around the world as well. So congrats to them. But yeah, most wickets by a pair is now Anderson and Broad.
Brutal.
Yeah, you think about it too. Like they've missed a lot of games too through injury.
Yeah.
I think the last Ashes in Australia, I don't think Broad played, did he?
No,
and Anderson only played a couple of tests.
And didn't take many wickets either.
No, they could have a lot more than that very easily, I think.
The funny stat I read when looking through the top 5 there, at number 3 is Murali and Shavinder Vas at 895. When you consider Murali had nearly 800 wickets himself, it's a nice. Shavinder Vas is riding his coattail pretty well.
I didn't mind watching a bit of Shavinder Vas, so I thought he was a pretty good bowler to watch. But you're right, 800 and something wickets. What about the next ones down, Ambrose and Walsh? That was probably some of the better viewing of my childhood, those two bowling. They were quality bowlers.
Oh, they formed part of the 80s and 90s West Indies that they just followed on from Holding and Marshall and Garner, Andy Roberts. So they were the last of them, actually. Like they were the last of the fast bowlers that sort of the West Indies rolled out, but they were a deadly duo.
They sure were.
It probably also says something too about how much more Test cricket gets played now too. When you look at some of those lists, or some of the names on those lists, like Ambrose and Walsh, they would have been, in that turn of when they started to play a lot more Test cricket, I guess.
Yeah.
But Anderson and Broad, they're right in the middle of that, where Test cricket's just getting played. You just finish a Test series and you move on to another country and start another series. It's far gone from the your 6-month tour where you just travel to England or whatever and play your 5 testing and then come back.
Yeah. Yeah, true points. All right, Randall, what do you got for us?
Oh, my good mate, Chris Davis. Still getting paid by the Orioles, even though he's retired. On a good contract, not as good as Bobby B, but anyway. Chris Davis once struck out 4 times looking in one game. I reckon he struck out 4 times in a game more than that, but looking only, rung up 4 times in a game. In 1992, Tony Gwynn had 571 plate appearances and struck out looking a total of 3 times all season. Again, it's another Tony Gwynn. We can't get enough of him, can we, on here?
No.
Doesn't matter where you look. There's some unbelievable stat again getting thrown around.
There's 2 or 3 blokes that get a mention nearly every week here. Nolan Ryan, Tony Gwynn.
Yeah. The stats just keep coming.
They do.
The tidbits keep coming for those guys. The gift that keeps on giving.
It's like benchmarks, isn't it? They're the benchmark, and we just refer to them.
Yeah. It's a fair call for Chris Davis, though, to be struck out looking 4 times in the one game.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fair stat.
He did have the pretty lean couple of seasons. Once he signed that big contract, it really went to the doghouse for him, didn't it?
Did.
It's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You know how he used to try and do that? With our stats and tidbits, it's either Nolan Ryan or Tony Gwynn. So it's like the 6 degrees of Tony Gwynn. Everything still revolves around him.
Yep. 100%.
I reckon one of the guys that comes in third is the bloke that Randall's about to mention here.
I think so too.
He's been in a few.
Yeah, pretty good stat here as well that we've come up and found. Tom Brady's recently retired, as we all know. He has 7 Super Bowls, so 7 Super Bowl rings. That's more than any other franchise in the NFL. I had to read it twice because it's just such a ludicrous stat. He has won 7 Super Bowls. No other franchise has won 7. What's the next best? 6, I'd assume, with the Patriots.
Yeah,
which he was involved in all 6.
And that's what we're saying. It's sort of like the Patriots must have won 6 then, because he was there for all of them except one.
Yeah, and that was the Bucks. So,
unreal.
I find that really difficult to comprehend that in all of the years of the Super Bowl that no franchise has won more than 7 times, or has even won 7 times.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how many Gronk's got then, because Gronk was with Brady for quite a while. I don't know if he was there all the years at
5, I think, mate. I think it's 5.
So that's still a pretty good effort. That's still a pretty good effort by him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell.
But yeah, Brady's next level.
Oh.
Yeah. Righto, let's set a challenge for next week. No Tony Gwynn, no Brady, or none of this guy. No Nolan Ryan either.
Challenge has been set.
I'm gonna have to unsubscribe from so many different pages.
We're going to be screwed. I've got at least 4 or 5 still to come for next week.
I got some cricket stockpiled, so I should be okay.
How about this legend, though? On his last major league pitch, Ryan threw, he tore his UCL. He threw one more practice pitch after the trainer came out to see if he could continue, but couldn't and left the game. The pitch came in at 90 miles per hour with a torn UCL.
98.
Yes.
98.
98. So
just rolling it over.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he
46 or something. What was he? Mid-40s or something?
Mid-40s,
yeah. I don't know exactly, Dave. It was either 45 or 46. But what a legend. And the last one I got for you is Greg Maddux is back on the field serving as a special assistant to the Texas Rangers. Now, Dave, you brought up a quality meme there. How did it go, Davo?
That it was a photo of Maddux and Jacob deGrom standing beside each other, and they said that Maddox will spend more time on the field this year than what DeGrom will. I thought, well, that's a fair call.
It is a fair call.
He missed his first spring training start due to a bit of cold weather or something, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, here we go.
Yeah, there was a fair bit of that actually. But let's close out the Hawkesbury Brewing section here, fellas. Thanks again to Hawkesbury Brewing supporting the tidbits. Randall's loving it up there. Look at him go. But yeah, why don't we chat a little bit about baseball while we're talking about it? There's been a few injuries and or people a little bit stiff to get moving, shall we say, in the spring training. We've also seen different players playing different positions, like Judge playing at first base. And did you see the interview regarding that?
No.
They've basically come out and said they don't want him running around in the outfield yet. No, he's not going to be playing first base. This was just, a thing more of a manning thing than, they wanted people taking ground balls and such. But
what people do in spring training, really?
Yeah, and they just said they wouldn't obviously rule it out in future if it happened down the line. But yeah.
Well, he's got a long contract, so when he gets to his late 30s or something, it's either DH or possibly first base. So
that's
covering all options.
I think it's good.
He's a big unit, and he's extremely athletic. So,
Oh, he stride halfway across the infield.
Yeah.
Mate, if he hits 50 plus again, what did he hit last year? 62? 64? 62? Anyway, 62 or 64, whatever it was. Yeah. Well, if he goes again and goes above, say, 50 home runs, they'll do whatever they want to, keep him hitting that 50 home runs. So they'll throw him in DH or, give him some games off from the outfield to give him a rest and let him hit. But, yeah.
Well, I reckon he's going to have games at left and right this year to give Stanton a break. So I think poor old Aaron Hicks, he's on the outer because he'll have, Bader in centre. So if Judge is playing right, Stanton's playing left, Hicks is on he's moving on, I reckon.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about him actually, and I have got notifications on for the Yankees on my MLB, and I haven't seen anything of it actually, Davo. So I don't know why I've got notifications on for the Yankees.
Yeah,
wow.
It's stupid. What am I
of
doing?
All teams, yes.
But do you know who else I get notifications from, Davo? The Orioles. Like, why am I getting notifications from the Orioles?
You've been hacked by someone when he's been over at your place.
What about these three blokes? I reckon these three blokes have spent more than the Orioles this year.
Oh.
Look how many boxes of cards they've got for the 2023 season. I hope they get a bit more return on investment than the Orioles as well.
Don't know if they will.
I think all they got was a unnumbered auto from some Neville Bartos that's already been cut.
Fair.
Like Ricky Vaughan or something.
Yeah. Have you actually followed much of the Orioles' early spring training, Randall?
A little bit, yeah.
Anything going on that you want to mention?
No, not really. They're just trying to do their thing. They got all the young kids coming through that they're really trying to hype up.
Yeah.
Especially the couple of young pitchers with Grayson Rodriguez and DL Hall.
Yeah.
They're really trying to push those guys to be coming through. So it's all about Adley, as you can imagine. Gunnar Henderson as well.
Yeah.
He showed a bit last year when he sort of come up at the back end of the season. So
well, he's been bumped up to number one prospect, so that's
awesome. He come out, back end of last season and crushed the ball, and he can run, he can field,
Yeah. Small bases as well. Around.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he falls anyway. They had some good infielders last year. They were pretty tight with their defense. So see what happens.
Yeah, Davo. Sorry, Randall. What was that?
I was going to say their outfield's pretty set.
Yeah.
Between Austin Hayes, Cedric Mullins and Anthony Santander.
Yeah.
Those three will be hard to move.
What about you, Davo? You followed much of the Red Sox pre-season, spring training?
Not too much. It was nice to see Sale out on the mound. It'd be nice to get him back going. Like Justin Turner's there now. Rafi Devers signed that long contract. So, look, you don't know what to expect with the Red Sox. You think they're going to have a down year, and these guys could click and they do well, or it could be a cellar dweller season for them. So, I'm not going in with a whole lot of sort of faith yet, but we'll just see what they can do. But I noticed old man Kershaw pulled out of the WBC too. So not sure if that's something more or just precaution by the Dodgers looking at big picture, wanting him for the season. But I know he's getting on a little bit now.
Yeah. No, I've seen that. And I tell you, the Dodgers have been pretty active on their social media with their spring training and behind the scenes. It's been pretty cool to watch. Just little bits and pieces. I think I've been following on Instagram, I think. But they've just been posting every day, pictures doing their thing. And it's good to see, PFP, day one, it was like go run and then PFP. And it's just got like this whole massive, like maybe 25 pitches doing PFP, just going through that one drill, bang, run the first, bang, run the first.
What about the Giants? What about the Giants, mate? How are they shaping up? We've got to ask you about them.
They've been all right. I haven't followed there haven't been a heap of news from them early on. There is one rookie that or a prospect, I should say. He might not get a run this year. Cole Harrison. If I get his rookie card or prospect card, Bowman first this year, I will be getting that one graded. I reckon he's going to go all right, mate. Donovan, what's his name? Luciano has been doing some cool stuff in the sort of spring training from what I've seen on social media as well. And also, I've just been following along with all the different pitching and things like that. But, yeah, Cole Harrison for me is going to be the one that I want to watch. Joey Bart, my sort of 2 or 3 year ago, my main guy that I sort of wanted to go all right. They're still holding him in there. See what happens. So they haven't really got another starting catcher. So I don't know what they're doing there. They've got like a backup utility guy that catches, but yeah, be interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, definitely Cole Harrison is the one I want to watch, and hopefully he gets a bit of game time in there. But time will tell. The MLB, guys, is back on. Spring training games is back on this weekend. So if you do have an MLB subscription, I believe it's Saturday their time. So Sunday games on MLB TV starting at, only tells me USA time, but I think it's 7 o'clock in the morning our time. We've got Mets and Houston, Nats and Cards, and Blue Jays and Pirates are the 3 games early that are on the TV. Also Boston and Braves, Yankees, Phillies, Guardians, Reds, they're all showing. D-backs, A's, Royals, Rangers, Padres, White Sox. So there is a few games on there. It'll be interesting to see lots of different pitching and who's come up to hit and whatever else.
Old man Verlander against the Astros. That'll be interesting to watch. I don't know if it's going to happen there, but I did read where somewhere this year there's games. It showed like players playing against their old teams, and the Mets do play the Astros at some stage. So what did he turn 40 yesterday and doesn't look like slowing down at all?
It was a cool stat. I think one of you posted it to me, the Justin Verlander, 26 complete games, 3,198 Ks, 2006 Rookie of the Year, 3 Cy Youngs in 11, 19, and 22. 9-time All-Star, Triple Crown winner, 2011 MVP, 2-time World Series champion, 244 wins. So, absolute legend.
Hall of Fame already.
I might have to find a tidbit on him instead of Nolan next week. See what happens. We might get one in, but another thing happening in baseball, fellas, is World Baseball Classic. I'm going to quickly share a screen here with you. It kicks off, I think, next week, or is it the week after? It's the week after.
March 8 or something like that.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty cool to watch. I've got a bit of a, if I can pull it up here, I'm struggling. Shows a bit of a screen of who's playing who and the different pools. So really looking forward to seeing some of these games, and I know be cool to see Australia get through, but they have got a pretty tough sort of matchup with Australia, with Korea and Japan, even Czech Republic have been all right. So
I think they play Korea straight off the bat.
Yeah,
first game. So if they can get a win there, they're probably they can set themselves up, I think, to get through.
And look at Pool D there. Pool D, like Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic. I know Israel and Nicaragua, but look at that top three. That'll be a good battle.
Yeah,
it will be.
Yeah.
I want to quickly turn your eyes to Pool A, mate. The fourth team on that list, Italy. Now, a fella that played a lot of years in Australian baseball, Chris Oxspring, is actually pitching for the Italy team, the World Baseball Classic. Do you guys know that?
No, I saw him on the Australian roster.
Yeah, right. I heard he was playing for Italy.
They still managed by Piazza? Because didn't
Piazza
manage them last time?
Did he? I'm not sure.
I wasn't sure if it was Olympics or World Baseball Classic, but I'm sure Piazza was manager for the Italians.
Yeah, right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is, mate. He still is. Just looking at it right now.
Have a look at the Italy team. See if I'm correct, or fact check me there, Randall.
Yeah, you're not looking good for you, champ.
Yeah, not good.
Nah. Matt Harvey's is in their rotation.
Yeah.
Mate, Donald Trump must have given you that info.
I'm not telling you where I got that info from, but maybe things haven't been updated.
That's on the World Baseball Classic site.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Fair enough.
It definitely has. Ox is definitely down as Australia.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. There you go. I've got some.
Moving on.
I've got some pretty average information there. But what about the banana ball? Did you guys watch any of that? Did you see any of that? The Savannah Bananas World Tour?
Not
So
recently.
they got their world tour on, and I watched their first game against the Party Animals there, and some of the rules are classic. I hadn't watched a full game. I'd sort of watched bits and pieces, and some of the rules insane, like the steals, and there's a pass ball, and they can steal first base or get a walk.
Caught a foul ball caught by a fan, the batter's out.
Yeah, it was just some quality rules, and
stealing first.
Mate, I
know a few people that would love that, stealing first.
Yeah.
Only way you're getting on unless you're getting hit.
That's it. And the first guy did get plugged. So the guy got plugged, and he's gone down, dramatic. And the umpires called him out, called the team out. They had 8 blokes stretcher him to first base, give him a bit of CPR there, and he sort of got himself going. But I thought it was classic, fellas. Just real good game. 2 hours, play the 9 innings. They end up being 5-all. I had to go to extras in there. I can't remember what they call it, like the extra innings, the showcase or showdown or whatever it is. And yeah, do yourself a favour, go on YouTube, watch the Savannah Bananas, have a bit of a look.
Oh, mate in the stilts, have a bat.
Yeah, he come
That's a
up. Yeah,
classic.
I think he
That's a
come up
classic
about
watching
6.
him. Yep, the umpire even stands on a chair to
Yeah,
get the bigger strike zone.
yeah,
And quite often he will make contact. I remember watching a game last year where he came up and sure enough got a base hit to left, and there he goes running down the line. It'd be hard enough standing in stilts, let alone swinging a bat and then running to first.
yeah. Mate, for 8,000 people were at the game, sold out. Their whole tour sold out apparently. It's really cool to see. One of the in-game entertainment in between innings. They had a baby race and they all just sat there, didn't move. And so this guy's trying to commentate 4 babies sitting there. Then one baby started crying, and then they had, I really enjoy that, they've got like instead of having the cheerleaders, they've got like the mums and grandmas and stuff doing the cheerleading, and just a good family atmosphere. And there are lots of families going to the baseball, which is cool to see.
That's what you want,
fun
isn't
to
it?
follow. Yeah, they're fun to follow on social media.
Yeah.
Their TikTok videos are good. So it's like, don't follow a lot on TikTok, but that's one of the good things I do follow is those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. While you're following them on the socials, have a look at this. Sports Rewind Digital, 1,000 subscribers last night. Thank you to every one of you. If you aren't subscribing, please go ahead and subscribe. Click the buttons, notifications, all that sort of jazz. But yeah, 1,000. Good on you, fellas. Thanks for your help along the way. It's been
don't know what they're thinking,
mate. 1,000 subscribers and we get 3 views on this. What else are they watching?
That's us 3 watching it tomorrow.
Yeah,
or 4 if you include Ruben watching.
That's right. That's right. But no, thank you to everyone that's supported us so far. We've got plenty of people lined up to come on the show. It's just arranging them for a Tuesday night at 9 p.m.
Well, I did actually hear we have a follower in Victoria who actually listens to this too.
Yeah, right.
I did get informed on the weekend while having a couple of social beers with El Presidente from the baseball club, Josh.
Yep.
He said he plays online golf a fair bit, and one of the blokes he regularly plays golf with has been listening. So, mate, I don't know what you're thinking, but get your other mates to listen to.
Go and swing a few golf clubs for us.
On the PlayStation. It's all on the PlayStation, mate. It's easy.
Right. Gotcha.
A lot less walking.
Hey, you want to run us through this Sale GP video, Dave? I'm just going to pull this up here. It's pretty hectic.
So last weekend they were in Australia on Sydney Harbour. So they'd just done their race, and it was Team Canada. The crane had got the boat out of the water because the crane lifts the boat and the main mast up in one go. And then they'd taken the mast off and a storm hits. And here's the video of it where the crane just loses control of the mast. It wipes out the marquees, destroys the main sail, even knocked over a worker who was there on the dock. Thankfully, he wasn't seriously injured, but you had people running everywhere, thousands of dollars worth of equipment destroyed, and it was quite the sight. They just said this storm came out of nowhere. They knew a bit of bad weather was coming, but did not expect that at all. So unfortunately, that happened on the Saturday, so it called off the racing on the Sunday. But thankfully, Team Canada will be up and going again next week when they move to New Zealand. But crazy scenes.
That's unreal, isn't it? It's, really bad. Obviously, big storm come through. Got Randall out of the pool as well.
Filthy.
Filthy. Yeah.
didn't arrive
Kids were-
quick enough for us to finish cricket. But anyway,
Yeah. Could have done that 2 balls earlier.
but
Here's
yeah,
what they actually look like when they're sailing. They're pretty magnificent
fancy.
to watch.
F1 on water, they're called.
Yeah, how's old mate having a ski behind it?
Yeah, just the way they sit up out of the water and go. It's
As I say,
Beautiful.
like Team Australia is led by Tom Slingsby, the Olympic gold medalist. So we're pretty well looked after there. So it's good crew, and I think even one of the other boats lost a crew member. Sort of, they have like the nets there between it, and he fell into the water, and was being dragged along by the boat as it's doing 60, 70, 80 Ks in the water. And they had to just sort of they realised he'd gone under, and you could just see him trying to slow the boat down to actually get it to stop and then bring him back up on board. So hectic times.
You're going to have to go and have a look.
It's pretty good to watch. It's been on, I think it was ESPN I saw it on, or something like that a couple of weeks ago. On a Saturday morning, they played some replays from previous weeks, and it's pretty good to watch. They have their 3 or so races or whatever it is for the day, and the first race they're working out tactics, how they're going to tic tac up and down the course to get in and around the buoys and stuff like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good to watch.
Right, let's move on to something different. Bit of NRL action. Randall, we've seen bugger all NRL, so you better let us know a little bit about it.
It was the last weekend of the pre-season, so congratulations to Manly. I think it was Manly Seagulls who won the inaugural pre-season Challenge Cup, which is 100K. They picked up 29 points across the 2 weeks. But probably importantly, over the weekend, we had the 2 big games, the Charity Shield, which was won by South Sydney Rabbitohs, 42 over the Dragons, 24. It was a slaughter. Like, Rabbitohs didn't look like losing the game from the start. They absolutely, they had a field day against the Dragons. But the big one was straight after that on Saturday night, which was World Club Challenge, St Helens, the Saints versus Penrith Panthers, the Super League, last year's Super League Grand Final winners up against the NRL Grand Final winners from last year. And St Helens walked away with a 13-12 win down at Penrith. So the weather was pretty average. As we've just spoken about through Sydney, they had that storm come through, and St Helens got the bickies. It probably suited them, I guess. Nice, wet, windy sort of conditions.
Feel like they're at home. But Penrith did well to come back, though. They were down, was it 10-0 or 12-0?
10-0 or something, 12-0.
10-0 they were down, and to come back and at least tie it up was a fair effort.
Yeah, that's for sure. They, you look at that Penrith team this year, you can definitely tell they've come back to the pack with the players that have moved on, which, you expect that, don't you? When your club wins, they're successful over a few years. You play in, what have they played? 3 out of the last. They've been in the last 3 grand finals, haven't they?
And they won all 3 premierships at all levels last year.
Yeah, so they've been a pretty good side. They're going to get noticed. Players will get noticed, and teams will chase them. And they won't be able to fit them under salary caps. We all know that. So, they probably come back to the pack a little bit, missing a couple of players. But if their system's good enough, they'll step up. But that wraps up. That's all. Nothing much for rugby league really this week.
Just before you go on, Randall, West Tigers 36, Raiders 4. How did you both go?
I didn't catch it, mate.
How those Knights go?
Knights got beat 36-14 by Parramatta.
Oh, yeah. How that? I watched a bit of the Sharks game, Davo. Did you see any of that?
No, mate. We did as well as expected. So
they got 20-point loss there, Davo, but that's all right.
Yeah, it's Pre-season.
Pre-season.
That's
It's
right.
only Parramatta supporters that go out and buy grand final tickets after pre-season. So
Yeah, that's exactly right, mate. Or Tigers supporters.
I might have a Tigers jersey with Correa on the back of it, actually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he might.
One thing that I did enjoy, though, was the Titans 40 over the Dolphins 16.
Yeah.
That did tickle my fancy. But
going to be a long year for those Dolphins.
Yeah.
At least I know the Knights won't get the spoon, mate. That's all that matters.
You don't know yet, Randall.
No, mate.
You don't know.
Put your house on it.
Put your house on it.
Oh,
that's it.
Okay,
So,
we've got this recorded, so let's keep this until September, or October.
See how well it ages, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rugby league, mate. That's week off and then the season starts. So that's what everyone's looking forward to, I think.
Yeah.
Can't take much out of the preseason.
No. So how was it calculated, the points for preseason?
There was a whole swag of bonus points that were given out. So it was, if I get some of these wrong, I apologise, but I think it was if you got 10 offloads with the ball, you got a bonus point. If you had 5 line breaks or something like that, you got an extra bonus point. If you scored 5 tries, you got a bonus point. Then you got a certain number of points for a win, a certain number of points for a draw. It was
keeping the ball in play also as well. It might have been one of them. I don't know. Yeah,
I feel
something like
there was a maximum of 15 points, I think, per game. If you win and get all your bonus points, you got 15 points.
Yeah.
And Manly ended up with 29 points at the end of it after the 2 weeks. Cronulla finished second with 28 points. So it sort of shows they're a bit above everybody else. Yeah, I guess it gives a bit of interest. It's not just going out there and just a nothing game. There's 100K on the line.
That's it.
If you really want it.
And what jersey did Manly wear?
They wore one where everybody could play.
It was either maroon or white, not sure.
It didn't have any rainbow on it.
Wasn't the Pride? Yeah, it wasn't the Pride one.
Yeah.
But interesting to note, Foran playing for the Titans. He seemed to steer them pretty well, so that could be a good signing for the year for the Titans.
Yeah, it's his health. His fitness. If he stays fit for the year, yeah, sure. Like he'll go okay, but that's been his issue. He's just been nagged by injury
and staying away from casinos.
Yeah. I did see in the news last week, Kalen Ponga, that whole incident. It's resurfaced again. It was a pretty average interview.
Anyway. No, that's just got to be more mature. You just got to realise that on the face of a club, you're the face of a club. You're getting paid $1.4 million, whatever he's been upgraded to go there and perform, and he's not doing that. So he's always going to get the scrutiny, especially at a place like Newcastle, mate. If he was in Melbourne, 90% of the people wouldn't know who he was walking down the street. He's just another pretty boy with works out at the gym.
And times have changed though as well. It's like you think it's the face of it, and so much social media and phones and everything now. But you think back when the Johns played and what they got away with in Newcastle, because you didn't have the technology that you do now. So it's how times have changed.
Yeah. In saying that too, mate, if they were in the shithouse together, doing whatever they're doing, holding each other's hair or whatever they say they were doing, you didn't have people that were running out to security going, hey, quick, there's these two celebrities or these two footy players are in the toilet together doing who knows what,
Yeah.
Back then it was just whatever, that's their business. Everyone just let it go. But now everyone's got to be, in everyone's business, and I want to be the person that gets this on camera. Yeah. Imagine how much I can sell this for or whatever, and Just the
Sports
way,
Rewind, get out there, more subscribers.
yeah. Just the way it is these days, and he just has to grow up and understand that if he's not performing on the field, even if he is performing this, it'll still be the same. Every time he walks past someone, they're gonna have a camera on him, waiting for him to make a mistake.
Yeah,
And
that's I guess
that's just the world.
that's the way professional sport is. It's you're in the limelight no matter what.
Yep. And especially rugby league in Newcastle, like you said, it's everybody knows everybody in Newcastle, and
They're a football town, always have been.
It's exactly
so
right.
They love their nights. They know all their nights. So it's just that is Newcastle.
Yeah.
They're very fickle supporters too. If you're not performing, they're very outspoken and they will say so.
Oh, really, Randall?
Not me, I don't care, but I just go there and drink beers.
Yeah, you got your spot on the hill there. You beauty. Oh, it should be good to have the footy back. Dave, bit of cricket news, mate. I reckon this is going to be pretty short and sweet too.
Well, on two fronts. The test was their 3-day test at the moment. Just shocking display by the Aussie batsman. I think whilst it's 7 of the wickets were trying to sweep or reverse sweep on a wicket that didn't deserve it. And I think in the Indians' second innings, they played one sweep shot, not a wicket. They only played one, or attempted one sweep shot, and we lost 7 wickets to it. So there's got to be a lot of soul searching there by the Aussies. And I think it probably comes back to the coaching staff as well that are probably emphasising that they do that. Yeah. I know previously it's worked okay, but not at the moment. But third test will be interesting because Cummins, he's flown home for some personal issues, but they seem to think he'll be back for the third test. Hazelwood's been ruled out. He's rather fickle with injury, so he's done. Warner could be sent home due to concussion, but
I think he's already flown home.
Yeah.
So he flew home this afternoon or something.
Personally, I don't think it's much of a loss. I think Head was batting well as opener. I think that's probably the spot for him or Hanscom. So hopefully,
you don't think they'll put Renshaw in there to open?
I don't think he's done enough yet. I know they're worried about Head, but Renshaw's just gotten out so cheaply so far. He hasn't even looked like building an innings over there, where Head has, like last test showed, he sort of can go there. Hands coming from the first innings. So I think Renshaw will still be in there, but he just may not open. So
would it be a difference for him though, opening the batting against the pace and not having to come out straight away and to face spin?
It might, even though they probably would go to spin early. They reckon facing the harder ball when opening is easier, even if you are facing the spinner. I think that's why Head did so well in the second innings, was facing that harder ball. Even if off a spinner, there's that bit more bounce and it's easier to play. Once the ball gets that 30 over mark, it starts slowing down. The spinners come into their own. So it might work. Might work for anyone that's thrown up there. But I think the bowlers did well. The batsmen just need to step up. So there's now 10 days in between tests. So it's quite a good break. So hopefully the Aussies can go away from it all, reassess where they're at, because they need a win or a draw to be able to make the final of the the challenge, the test series. So India have made it, but if India flog us or beat us 4-0 and Sri Lanka win a game, or New Zealand, I think, it'll be India in one of those. So it's a new concept brought in to make test cricket sort of back and viable, is that the end of each year or calendar year, they have 1 versus 2. So to work out who's been the best test cricket nation over the 12 months. So Australia and India are 1 and 2 at the moment. So hopefully we can at least get a draw, if not a win, to make that Challenge Cup thing. So
It's crazy. It's crazy to think because when South Africa came out here to Australia at Christmas,
Mm.
they were in number one spot, or number two. Australia and South Africa were 1 and 2, and
Yep.
India were 3, and I think England were 4 or something
Yeah.
like that. And all of a
Flog
sudden,
'em.
we've played one test series. We've played one test series since beating South Africa, and now we're in danger of not making it. It's crazy to think that Sri Lanka could be jumping ahead of us.
where they were 6th or something earlier. So I'm not sure how they work it out, but hopefully we can hold them off. So the men aren't doing well, but the women, on the other hand, they're 4-0 over in the World Cup. They've booked themselves a spot in the semi-finals. They're the only team out of both groups to be able to do that at the moment. So we don't know who they're going to play. There's still 1 or 2 matches left. I think it's England versus Pakistan still to go. But New Zealand and, hang on, I had it here before. So it's a fight for second.
South Africa and Bangladesh, I think, are playing the other game. I think.
Yeah, so you've got the standings at the moment. Well, if I can bring it back. So Australia's 4-0. New Zealand and Sri Lanka are both 4-2, so they're fighting out the second spot in Group 1. And in Group 2, you've got England and India both on 6 points, and the West Indies on 4 points. So the semi-finals start this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see who plays. But Australia's they haven't been troubled yet. They're playing such good cricket that they're really showing the men how to do it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think South Africa have still got a game against Bangladesh, and if South Africa win, I think their net run rate will push them above New Zealand.
Yeah.
Which means New Zealand will be gone.
So,
and I think England have pretty well got first place wrapped up in the other one, unless Pakistan can absolutely flog them.
Well, it's tight. Like England's got the better net run rate than India at the moment, but India's played that one extra game. So I think even if Pakistan were to beat England, England would still be the number one spot because of that net run rate. So
should be facing India, I'd say.
Yeah, let them fight it out, and Australia's just resting easy, and they're just playing great cricket.
Yeah. I only caught a few of the highlights. I haven't watched full games, but it's been good to watch.
Yeah, there has been some good cricket.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yes,
cool.
We've had the games here. Well, we haven't got up to watch them. We're not getting up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, but we record them, and it's been viewing in this household, so it's been good. They've just all round game is like batting, bowling, and fielding. They're just a level above at the moment.
Yeah. No, it's awesome to see. Like that one stage when we were like that in the men's team, you know, I remember back watching Bevan and blokes like that just absolutely carving it up, and it was always good to watch. That was, the one day sort of thing, but yeah, we were sort of that class above back then. But yeah, it's great to see the Aussie women cricketers going well. Righto, fellas, I've got one more thing for you. It's the NBL. So we have finals this week. The Sydney Kings take on New Zealand. New Zealand beat Tasmania in the playoffs, and Sydney beat Cairns to go through. So Sydney and New Zealand will play off. I believe the first game's Friday. Yes, it is. Yep, Friday is the first game in the playoffs. 3-game series. I know you don't follow much of it. Who are you picking, fellas?
Kings.
Got to back the Kings. Got to go the home team.
Yeah,
I think they have been not a dominant team, but they've sort of been the benchmark for this year. So it's theirs to lose, really.
Yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully they can fill the house again like they have been. It's been awesome to see highlights of full crowds there. That's for sure. All right, have you got anything else for us, fellas, before we go? Nope.
Nope,
No.
all out.
Can't wait to get a bit of baseball on the TV this weekend.
Yeah.
Going to be awesome to watch. Hey, Randall, have you got MLB The Show yet, or is that coming out at the same time?
Hasn't come out yet, mate. Not until the end of March.
Yeah, I think it's opening day comes out, doesn't it?
Pre-purchased
sorry.
the deluxe edition, so I think I get 4 days early release.
Right.
So
You beauty.
I'm on, mate. It's already purchased, sitting there ready to go.
Just let Heidi know she can come over and talk to us if she needs to, like 4 days on there. You know.
Someone's got to feed the kids, mate. So she can't go anywhere, and she's got to empty my pee bucket.
Not moving. All right, fellas. Been a good week. Thanks again. If you are listening on the audio only, give us a rating. I haven't actually asked anyone to give us a rating for those 3 or 4 people that are listening. There's obviously people clicking subscribe. We thank you for that. Just want to leave you on this note. Peace. See you, fellas.
See you
Catch you
guys
next week.